Hello, wonderful people, and welcome to Chalk Talks at Home with Amber. So yesterday, we learned that we're doing incubation pHs in my apartment, and the question is, why would we care? Incubation pH is a measure of whether there's sulfides or not in our marsh soils. And the reason we care about them is because hydrogen sulfide gas is toxic to plants. So we would like to know if it's there because these are restoration areas where they've taken dredge material and put it on top of the marsh. And we're worried that there might be some in there, and we're also trying to recover the plants. So it would be nice to know if there was something there that was hindering their growth. I will drop a link in the comments to the restoration and the dredging, and you gotta see it to believe it, what they did. But anyway, so why does the incubation pH method work? Well, kids, this is when we start talking about redox. My favorite subject. So some of you will remember that redox stands for reduction and oxidation. There are two processes that happen together. The electrons get moved, so one gets reduced and one gets oxidized, and your famous mnemonic device here, right? Oxidation is loss, reduction is gain of electrons. So the reason why this is important to us is because life depends on it. So most of us, organisms on Earth, produce oxygen in order to get our energy for our cells. Breathe it in, breathe it out, right? But there are many environments on Earth, including my marsh soils, that have no oxygen, and their life still teems. And that's because these critters have figured out a way to reduce something else other than oxygen in order to get their energy. And in the case of an estuary, there's lots of sulfate coming in from the seawater. So we got sulfate. So there's lots of this dissolved in the seawater. Comes in all the time, there's plenty of it, and then they reduce it, right, to the aforementioned hydrogen sulfide gas. And many, many other compounds besides too, but this is the one we care the most about. And they all participate in this super complicated cycle. Well, why does our incubation pH method work? That's because as soon as you take this out of the no oxygen environment, you put it in an ice cube tray, then oxygen is coming in. So you got some H2S, and you got some, couple of them, right? O2s. So as this process occurs, what do you think you can get? You put all them together. Johnny was a chemist's son, but Johnny is no more. What Johnny thought was H2O was H2SO4. Which of course is otherwise known as sulfuric acid. So as this process occurs, the pH goes down. And I measured that with my little glass electrode and hope it doesn't break. So that concludes this Chalk Talk. And now it's time for the red-green section of the show. So in the red-green section of the show, I'm going to show you the improvised nature of some of this apartment laboratory setup I have here. So here we go. So here we've got my little board I use. We got the main shrine, of course. Go Black Bears. We got my folders. We got some samples. Got the aforementioned Calgon. Putting some Calgon in to the roots. Those are my little root samples. Need to be Calgoned. There's your carboy with the extra DI water right there. May I mention this plank and the sawhorses? Got them from the boathouse at East Farm over at College Farm. And then there's the pH station that you've seen. So anyway, thanks for watching and have yourselves a good night.